Hi, I'm Billy Pye, former goalie for the Northern Michigan Wildcats from 1987 to 91. And Nathan Butler reached out to me, freshman at Northern, and wanted me to talk about sacrifice and what it was like, the sacrifice I made to ultimately win a national championship. Um, First of all, I never really ever dreamed at first when I was young that I could have a chance to win a national championship and be an All-American goaltender. But I think it all started for me at age 15 when I was watching older goalie that I played with in midget AAA, CompuWare back in the day in Detroit, and just seeing the hard work that he put in as a player um, to become the best. And I wanted to be like that, and realizing that I had the talent. So I think it was the belief at first that I had the skill level, and that's when it all took off for me, where I saw that this player trained hard to be better on and off the ice, and I started to do that. I think I had a lot of discipline in school as well, because I knew I needed to get good grades to get into school, and it motivated me to do that. So number one was the belief that I had that I could become a good player, and understanding the hard work that was put in to become better. I think that carried over to college, and I think on and off the ice, I worked the hardest I could be, and it all started with I ran a lot, did a lot of weight training, and that's when I did my mental thinking and the belief that I was good. The harder you train, the better you get at your craft, and that's what it started working. Two, I started setting goals. I think when I was younger, I really never had goals. I just played to play. Once I got into college, I had a senior in front of me, and my goal was to play by the end of the year as much as him. He was a senior, I was a freshman, and that's exactly what happened. I worked hard to get to where I needed to be, and I set that as goal. By the end of the year, I played in a playoff game in Wisconsin, which was huge for me. Coach put me into that game, which led into my sophomore year, where I was supposed to be the guy, and I had to work for it though. I had a good freshman coming in, and I had to work every day to be the best. And it started in practice. I just didn't come to practice to take stop shots. I came with a purpose. I had a game plan of what I was going to do each day to get better, and I stayed after. I don't know how many times, countless times, I stayed after to just take shots and get better. In fact, in the 4 years I played at Northern, I missed one practice, and that was because Coach Conley made me sit out of practice because he thought I was just overexerting myself. But I sat there and watched the practice, which was hard to do. So I think that's where it started with me, was the belief, and then putting in the effort and having a game plan of how I was going to get better. And with the coaching staff and a goalie coach, that helped. But I had that all set out. I just didn't go to practice just to go to practice. I had a structure of what I was going to do to get better. And then looking at the sacrifice I made, in hindsight, for me, it didn't seem like a sacrifice, because I had that competitiveness and willingness to be the best. And but in hindsight, the sacrifice I did make started in high school. The social life wasn't there as much. I didn't go to all the high school functions that a lot of kids went to. I didn't go to the parties and doing the things like that, because I was at the rink. And I think that's a sacrifice. If you want to be the best you want to do, you have to make those kind of sacrifices, which carried over to college. You can get caught up in a lot of stuff at college. Getting caught, in the things that you don't want to be doing. And we had discipline as a team to stay away from that stuff. As a team, we did go out sometimes on a Saturday night after a big Saturday night win, but that was about it. We had discipline to stay away from the things that you want to do to be a champion, which led into our senior year, having the belief that we were good as a team, setting goals to know as the years went on how good we were, and the belief that we could get there ultimately brought us to the championship. And I always dreamed, and I always remember this, I always dreamed of winning a national championship once I got like 15, 16. And I always imagine, and believing that and doing that mental imagery really helps a lot as a player, to believe that you can do it and see yourself doing it. And I always imagine winning. And believe it or not, I always imagine it in overtime, like I think everyone kind of does. And that's exactly what happened. And, I'm just honored, blessed, and grateful that I had the opportunity and the coaching and the right coaches to put me in that situation. So I hope this helps, Nathan. I hope you have a great year. For you, it's the same thing. I knew you were, as a young kid, and you sacrificed coming out shooting on my goalies all the time, and you wanted to get better. And that's where it starts. You got to do extra to get better. So thanks, and I wish you nothing but the best for this year.